National savings site The Penny Hoarder asked parents across America about the cost of childcare. Some of the words that kept coming up: unaffordable, disheartening, out of control, and sad. The younger generation is waiting longer to have children, according to the CDC. The average age of a mother used to be about 25 in 2000, and now it's about 26 years old. Many women waiting until their 30s to have kids. Though many factors are at play, Alex Mahadavan with the Penny Hoarder says we know parents are blown away by the cost of childcare.
The major takeaway was that a majority of parents are just overwhelmed by the cost of childcare. And regardless of their social situation, very few take government assistance to help cover it.
According to the Penny Hoarder's survey, to be able to pay for childcare, 80% of people put off paying debt. 90% couldn't save any money. Most parents pay between $500 to $1,000 a month per child.
Single parent homes pay over 36% of their salary every year to childcare alone.
Danielle Morgan works with Infant Crisis Services. It's a diaper formula and food pantry. Morgan says there are extra costs of childcare, making that monthly bill even more steep. Most daycares require that you provide certain items before they accept your child.
Most childcare facilities, whether they're in-home or public open childcares, they ask for a week's worth of diapers upon the enrollment of your child. So you need about 40 or 50 at home for 7 days worth. You need an additional 40 or 50 for childcare.
In Oklahoma, the average childcare cost is about $581 per month per child.
For some context, a one-bedroom apartment costs about $675 a month. Can you imagine having to pay what's essentially a second rent check every month?
So what can you do if you're struggling? You can reach out to see if you qualify for any child care assistance through the government. You can ask your company about policies on taking young children to work to pay less at the start of your child's life. The Penny Hoarder recommends trying nanny sharing. That can save you up to $15 an hour. No matter your income level, you can call the Oklahoma Child Care Resource and Referral Association. A specialist will help you put together a list of care options in the part of town that you choose and sort them by needs and price. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch. Lower wages early in your career have the potential to follow you your entire life. That means less money to use in your budget, less money to save, and less money to invest. Young women may be focusing on learning to budget and build credit. It's also important to focus on how much money you earn compared to the men at your same career and experience level.
You might know the statistic that women tend to make 79 cents on the dollar compared to men, but that's the statistic for white women. For African American women, it's 63 cents to the man's dollar for their counterparts. And for Hispanic women, it's 54 cents to the dollar.
Those are national stats from the Penny Hoarder's Lisa Rowan. They are several cents lower for women here in Oklahoma. Wage disparities also widen with age. According to the Harvard Business Review, a 2017 study shows young college-educated women make 89% of what their male counterparts make, but by the time they are nearing their 50s, male counterparts are making 55% more in the same career. Aggressive advocacy in yourself and being familiar with wage ranges is important. In your 40s and your 50s or later in your career, it's also important to focus on investing and retirement.
Financial literacy isn't something that you do once and forget about. It's something that you revisit throughout your life as your life changes.
From reading a book on finances to taking free or low-cost financial literacy classes, anyone can feel more confident being their own advocate. If your company has a 401k and a match, make sure you're taking advantage of that. Also, work towards having a few $1,000s saved in case of an emergency. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch. Oklahoma has one of the highest incarceration rates in the U.S., and leaving the system is a vulnerable time for a person. I talked to a man who says job training was the difference maker in securing a brighter future. A group of adults ready for a brighter tomorrow. Kenneth Tolles is a graduate of the Center for Employment Opportunities. He had been incarcerated for about 2 years. Coming back home had its own set of difficulties.
It was a lot of anxiety because I knew that I was going to have to get back to and transition back into civilization. So I did have a lot of anxiety about how I would get a job and stuff like that.
CEO says its goal is to provide immediate and effective employment services for men and women who are returning home from incarceration. There is a 4-step program, and the goal is to bridge behavioral and skill gaps. Then clients turn into part-time employees with CEO.
We pay them daily paychecks so that they can achieve some stability and start to create a longer-term career pathway plan.
Sam Eagleson with CEO says participants are part of a work crew 4 days a week. On the 5th day, they come to CEO offices in professional attire and work with vocational staff. CEO can also help with finding the right clothing for any upcoming interviews.
If we don't equip individuals with the necessary tools to navigate that journey, then recidivism and incarceration rates will remain persistently high.
Tolles says CEO classes and teachers helped him regain some confidence and set the bar higher for himself. Now he works as a forklift driver and says he is thriving in this new opportunity.
To this day, I still keep in contact with all of them. It's they really became some family to me, honestly and truthfully.
CEO says it takes clients right after release or within that first year of reentry. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch. For many Americans, an unexpected or even expected expense is often financed. That means you're spending months paying something off instead of just saving that money, and that could have a major impact on your future. Depending on credit cards is having a negative effect on the strength of savings accounts for many Americans. Check out this graph from Bankrate. Bankrate says their data shows 29% of Americans have more credit card debt than they do savings. The last time numbers were this high was around 2014.
Well, I'll just put on the credit card, and then they stay on the credit card. And something that should have been a $100 expense can grow pretty quickly to $130, $40, or $50 before you get it paid off.
Matt Stratton with Tinker Federal Credit Union cautions that if you cannot pay off a charge right away, using credit cards over savings will mean that you end up paying more money. According to Bankrate, some 18% of people have no credit card debt but also have no emergency savings. That's also a dangerous position. When it comes to saving money, no matter your income, you'll need a plan where savings are a priority.
Before you build your budget at all, the first thing you need to do is build in savings. We call it pay yourself first.
So decide what percentage of your paychecks you want to save, then make a spending plan around the rest. The survey shows that higher income households and those headed by college students are more likely to have better emergency savings than credit card debt, but debt issues can affect any income level. In fact, many middle income households are likely to have their credit card debt exceed their savings. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch.